Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Voyage, Captain Venom, Parasitic Nami at the beginning. Chapter 21. Although Venom did not object to Smoker's proposal to change the venue for the fight. But he didn't fully comply, but chose to take action directly. He was heading to the Grand Line and had no time to waste here. As he spoke, Venom jumped out of the alley, with flames coming out of his fingers, like machine gun fire, and kept attacking Smoker with flame bullets. Fire Gatling. Da da da. Smoker's face was solemn, his thighs exploded with strength, and he evaded the fire bullets by moving quickly. The two people's goals are the same at this moment. Just find a spacious place to fight. However, what Smoker didn't expect was that the Venom attacked very quickly and the bullet density was beyond his imagination. In a short period of time, more than 100 rounds of bullets were fired, hitting various parts of his body very accurately. And with the ability of the smoking fruit, Smoker managed to avoid most of the attacks. But a few bullets still hit successfully. Puff. Sizzle. From time to time, several flaming wounds appeared on Smoker's body. The severe pain made Smoker grit his teeth. The speed of this bullet is too fast. Smoker also realized that Venom was different from his previous opponents. He definitely had the strength of a pirate with a bounty of hundreds of millions. White Fist. Smoker quickly swung his fists as he walked, releasing a dozen fog-like punches at the Venom on the other side. Firefly. Venom's palm spread out, and countless particles came out of the palm. The surrounding space seemed to be filled with countless flying fireflies, flying directly towards Smoker's body. Smoker wants to use elementalization to resist the attack. But it soon became apparent that these light spots were pervasive. Although Smoker once again used elementalization to evade the attack, this time he was still attacked by flames. What was even more terrifying was that the opponent's flame spots seemed to be converging. Create an explosion. Boom. This time, Smoker was so shocked by the direct fire explosion that he vomited blood. The Marine soldiers chasing him looked a little panicked. The boss was actually beaten and vomited blood. He is the Logia demon fruit power. His true form cannot be touched by ordinary people. Smoker stopped, feeling the burning pain in his body from the inside out. The word, justice, on the clothes behind him was stained red with blood. This pain has been felt since the day he got the smoking fruit. I have never experienced it again. Is the opponent's Mara fruit that strong? Venom's proficiency in the use of Mara fruit. Smoker has been asked to match Venom with a Kainu. I admit that you are strong, but that's all. Smoker releases his smoking ability and spreads the smoke immediately. At this time, the streets of Logue Town were filled with morning mist. Let Smoke Mist Shinobi hide his position. Smoker directly held the weapons in his hands and rushed towards Venom quickly. Now he already knows that with long-range attacks, his own smoking fruit is no match for the Mara fruit. In this case, there is only close combat. I went through the most rigorous training at Naval Headquarters. When it comes to Marine 6 styles, Smoker has them all. He believes that as long as he gets close to the opponent, he can successfully win. Clang, clang, clang. The ground was filled with smoke, and Venom and Smoker were fighting in the thick fog. People outside don't know what's going on inside. I could only vaguely see sparks coming out, and hear the sharp collision between Venom's fist and Smoker's weapon. As time progresses, the battle between the two gradually heated up. There are more and more flames and things. The flash of light also burst out like endless. It's dizzying. It's not a good idea to go on like this. Karina started to get a little worried. According to the venue, Smoker's smoke range was even larger, and for a person like Smoker who is used to fighting in smoke, plus he has a weapon in his hand. Karina was a little worried that Nami, who was controlled by Venom, wouldn't be able to resist. Then why don't we escape from this place now? Karina immediately thought of escaping from this ghost place. No relationship developed between her and Venom. Some only have the experience of a panda being attacked by Venom. But Nami is still inside. The disaster was his own doing, but it was Nami who suffered. In the end, Karina did not choose to escape, but nervously prayed that Nami would be okay. The Marine soldier on the other side rubbed his eyes. I couldn't see clearly what was going on at the scene. But, judging from how intense the battle is now, Smoker must be in a tough fight. Tashigi couldn't help but put his hand on the hilt of his sword. My heart was filled with worry. At this time, in the middle of thick fog, Smoker pressed the weapon against the ground with one hand, panting a little, and his clothes were soaked with blood and sweat. On the other hand, Venom on the opposite side was covered in flame armor, looking like a normal person, looking at ease. Venom didn't give Smoker a chance to breathe, and his figure flashed again. Before turning around, use shout a teleport to the left side of Smoker. With a roundhouse kick, Smoker was kicked away and fell heavily to the ground. In the deep pit, Smoker vomited blood, his eyes full of disbelief. Regardless of his body that was about to fall apart, Smoker climbed up from the hole with difficulty. You can actually use our Marines' moves. Even been able to use armament hockey. Is it difficult? Venom walked over slowly. Pirates. Smoker was angry inside, but there was nothing he could do. He had no idea what monster he was facing. In terms of Devil Fruit's abilities, the opponent's attack power is obviously stronger than his own. In terms of close physical skills, the opponent's speed and attack power are both stronger than yours. Even your own Seastone weapon cannot cause damage to the opponent. How to fight? Why haven't reinforcements arrived yet? And Venom would not let him go so easily. Countless fists fell like raindrops, hitting Smoker's body. Smoker is already defeated, so he can't think of taking the initiative to attack. It would be nice to be able to defend now. Immediately, Smoker did not hide at all, and directly transformed into elements all over his body. He wants to use smoke to evade incoming attacks. Boom boom boom. Under the powerful fist wind, along with the sound of fist bombardment, the layers of smoke were shaken away. The originally densely smoky environment suddenly became clear. Now, only those watching the battle around knew the specific situation inside. Beat up. Smoker, as a smoker, is currently experiencing a one-sided beating. Venom's attacks are infinitely powerful, as if they don't require physical strength. And Smoker's body made of smoke was bombarded and scattered again and again, unable to gather into a human shape. Seeing this scene, all Smoker's subordinates felt their hearts tremble in their throats. And also at this time, only then did someone see that a large force of Marines had gathered across the street. Our reinforcements are coming. Our Logue Town branch has more than just Leader Smoker. Seeing the arrival of reinforcements, Smoker's tense nerves relaxed a little. And just because of this moment of relaxation, Smoker was directly grabbed by Venom's armor. In an instant, an explosive kick hit Smoker's side. The next second, Smoker flew out directly. Boom. The sound of impact and the sound of houses collapsing were heard one after another. After knocking down several walls, Smoker stopped. Rolling your eyes, dying. Smoker, who is he and how dare he attack Marine? A reward. There must be a high reward on his head. The Marine general who arrived quickly ran to the scene and roared directly. After the battle, Venom did not choose to pursue the victory. Instead, he chose to leave Logue Town with Nami Karina. The reason why I didn't choose to make a big fuss. On the one hand, it's because Logue Town is Marine's territory, and it's unclear whether he has any trump cards. If there happens to be a strong person here, it will affect his ability to enter the Grand Line. And, according to Nami, the weather is changing. Storms are likely, so Venom chose not to delay. On the other hand, the pirate group currently only has Venom and Nami, and they are still in the state of just going to sea. If their reputation is too big now, it will be detrimental to themselves. But what Venom didn't think about was beating Smoker into this state. It's enough for him to become famous all over the world. The Red Line and Grand Line are divided into two rings, so there are two intersections. One of them is Upside Down Mountain, also known as Levi's Mountain. It is an incredible and dangerous mountain. It is the entrance to the Grand Line. There are 5 waterways on the Upside Down Mountain, which are X-shaped, with 4 in and 1 out. 4 of the waterways have channels pushed upward by ocean currents. Finally leads to the Grand Line. The location of Upside Down Mountain is near Logue Town. At this time, the sea is covered with dark clouds, like a million troops pressing down on the territory. The sea wind also blew violently. Boss, the entrance to the Grand Line is just ahead. We can only avoid the storm on the ocean by speeding up and using the Red Line. Nami stepped on a piece of rope and tied the sail tightly. Then he jumped to the rudder position and began to adjust the course. Karina, on the other hand, was completely confused. I don't know how to speak at this time. Because she felt redundant. However, now that the storm is coming, there is no place to hide. Nami is right. The only way to avoid it is through the Grand Line intersection. At the same time, there are 3 marine warships chasing behind. It can be said that there is a wolf before and a tiger behind. The reason why Karina feels redundant is, ahead is the Grand Line, where there is no return. Isn't it going to death to go to the Grand Line by yourself? Wouldn't it be nice to have fun stealing some gold and silver in your own little East Blue? Why go to such a dangerous place? But the current situation made Karina confused, and she gave up thinking directly. She saw Nami busy on the side, and the pirate ship was getting closer and closer to the entrance. Come on, current, finally getting to the Grand Line. It's so spectacular. Looking at the ocean currents formed by tens of thousands of tons of seawater heading up the upside-down mountain, Nami was amazed. What are you doing standing there in a daze? Hurry up and furl the sail. Nami steadily controlled the rudder and shouted directly to Karina, who was still in a daze. Okay, I understand. Karina felt like she was on a pirate ship. But there is no way. What else can be done? Just jump into the sea. Venom, on the other hand, acted like a normal person and did not show his face. He just parasitized on Nami and slowly watched the 2 beautiful girls working. It's not that he doesn't want to go and help, but now he simply can't do it. As a cosmic symbiote, Venom can now survive without Nami. But all it can do is liquid human form. This state is similar to that of a person made of liquid. Its abilities cannot be used at all. In other words, after being separated from the parasitic host, the Venom is useless. He couldn't even help carry a heavy object. Only on the parasitic host can the Venom exert greater power. This is also the symbiote's greatest weakness. There is no way to truly escape from the parasite. At this time, with Nami's excellent sailing skills and the barrier of the storm, the Venom pirate ship had escaped Marine's pursuit. As the sails were furled by Karina, the speed of the entire ship began to slow down. At this time, we had reached the vicinity of the entrance channel, and the boat did not stop. Following the ocean current, it can still maintain sailing speed. It's coming. We are about to enter the Grand Line. Come on, ocean current. Nami steadily controlled the rudder and reminded loudly. Unconsciously, sailing has become the thing she looks forward to most. Nami would never have come to this place before. The upside-down mountain in front of you is infinitely huge, and the waterway is like a door to the unknown world. You don't know what you will encounter later. What is certain is that the road ahead will be dangerous. Fortunately, Boss Venom was there and Nami's idea was confirmed. Karina, on the other hand, was looking downcast, which made Nami couldn't help but snicker. As a sister, my luck has exploded this time. Not only did he offend the untouchable Marine in Logue Town. Then when escaping, they encountered a storm and were chased by warships. The only way out now is the Grand Line intersection. If you think about it from another angle, you can understand her despair. Haha, Nami couldn't help but laugh when he thought of this. Vixen. Come here and hold the rudder. Be careful of falling into the sea. Karina was a little listless and confused about the future. It's coming. Is Grand Line suitable for stealing? Thanks to Nami's excellent sailing skills, the pirate ship successfully boarded the current, entered the rising waterway, and sped directly towards the top of the mountain. Faster and faster, the pirate ship quickly rushed over the top of the mountain, as if flying in the sky. I roar, Venom boss, it feels so good to sail. Nami's hair swayed in the wind, and she stabilized her figure, looking very excited. Karina was not so lucky. She felt dizzy. She knocked on the rudder and a big bag came out of her forehead. Emma, if you are the same as that, with a devil fruit, you don't have to suffer this. It hurts. Well, after the hull entered the waterway of the Grand Line, the entire ship entered a state of acceleration. Not long after, a vast expanse of sea appeared in front of them. This is the Grand Line. The grand route journey of the Venom pirate ship has officially begun. Marineford, Naval Headquarters Marshal's Office. Sengoku and others are listening to the news reporter's report. Smoker is actually injured. Will he have to stay in bed for 3 months? Impossible. He is Logia Demon Fruit Power, and he is the weakest in East Blue. Is East Blue going to make trouble again? Sengoku looked incredulous, but still chose to listen. After the reporter finished his report, Sengoku took the report and looked at it carefully. Garp, come and take a look. You often go to East Blue, don't you know how to take care of it? Garp pressed his nose with a look of disgust on his face and refused to take a step at all. I'm here to see my grandson, so I don't have time to worry about other pirates. Moreover, now that my reputation has spread in East Blue, no pirates are willing to send them to me to fight, so it is impossible for me to find them. Don't have that time. The Venom Pirates, a pirate group led by 2 female pirates, the little cat Nami, the thief Karina, and an unknown creature. Is that little thieving cat a user with the fire-type burning ability? Does he also have the characteristics of a fantasy beast species? He has armament hockey and special reinforced armor. Why do you please write in the newspaper that Seastone is useless? What the hell is going on? A pirate group with only 2 people cannot be so strong. Sengoku pinched the bridge of his nose and tapped his fingers on the table, his mind in a mess. What the other party did was so surprising. He actually used his strength to crush Smoker, the user with Logia's smoking fruit ability. In the end, Zongguo's eyelids twitched. Decided to pay attention. Quickly map the location of the photo on the file. Write down the bounty for the 3 Venom pirates. At this time, New World was a prosperous island. There are countless seabirds circling in the harbor. This is the headquarters of the News of the World newspaper. Why don't you report what happened in East Blue Logue Town? Are you guys idiots? Big News Morgans pointed his wings at a group of employees and cursed angrily. Morgans is a person with abilities in the form of Zone's bird fruit albatross. He usually appears in his Birdman form. He is also the president of the news agency and reports many big news. A person who can make big news in Logue Town defeated Marine White Hunter Smoker with absolute strength, but you are so ignored. What's more important is that he is also the user of Mara Mara fruit. That was Doflamingo's prey before. Hurry up and work overtime to write out the love and hatred between the Venom Pirates and Don Quixote. The more exaggerated the better. Don't even roll your eyes at me. News depends on Lenovo. Lenovo understands. You white-eyed wolf. Under Morgan's reprimand, all the employees covered their faces and lowered their heads. Soon, at Morgan's request, reports one after another were written. After Morgan's checked it, he selected a report that was reasonably well written. Then start modifying it yourself. This time, he wants to make big news. Deep into the news industry, Morgans knows that the more exaggerated the reports, the more Bailey will come. After an hour, newspapers titled, "The Worst Rookie Pirates," began to float to the sea as the news birds flew. The sea today is destined to be extremely lively. Many pirates were already discussing it with newspapers. Logue Town, East Blue Grand Line's goalkeeper failed. What? That Smoker. When I entered the Grand Line 3 years ago, my legs were shortened. What? He will be in bed for 3 years. This news is so wonderful. Have you offended Shichibukai Doflamingo before even entering the New World? He also robbed the Don Quixote family's Mara Mara fruit. That's the Logia Devil fruit. The bounty from Marine has been released. The first bounty exceeded 100 million belly. This is already a big pirate. Brothers, it's time to make a fortune. Different from the situation of ordinary pirates, the attitude of Shichibukai. Crocodile. New. He actually dares to steal Doflamingo's business. Ha ha ha, do you want to drag him into my studio? Moria. Unknown creature. My favorite. I'm going to make him a zombie. Doflamingo. You kid, you better come to the New World alive. Compared to Shichibukai, 4 Emperors seems much calmer. Charlotte Linlin. Mama, new to Logue Town. A new species. Kaido. Not everyone can become the Pirate King. Whitebeard Newgate. Logue Town. Goo la 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 la. What a nostalgic place, Roger. Red-haired Shanks. Did Luffy go to sea? It's just a rookie pirate group. That's okay, regardless of the review. It really made everyone in the Grand Line pay attention to the situation of the Venom Pirates. The first half of the Grand Line. A pirate group with its sails furled is floating freely in the vast sea. At this time, there were 3 figures in the kitchen of the cabin, none other than Nami and Karina, and on one side was a dark liquid human named Venom. Next to the stove, 2 small flames burst out from the thumb and middle finger of Nami's right hand. With a snap of Nami's fingers, the wood in the stove began to burn out of thin air. "I'll leave lunch to you, Vixen," Nami said with a smile. There was no way, there were only 3 people on the boat. There is also a Venom that does not require food. In the absence of a specific chef, things like cooking are naturally left to the person with the best cooking skills. And Karina didn't refuse. "It has been 2 days since I came to Grand Line. When can we see the island?" Seeing that the sea was calm these 2 days and the ship was sailing smoothly, Karina felt that Grand Line could rely on thieving to make ends meet, so she decided to find an island town to explore the situation. After all, compared to being a pirate, I still prefer to be a thief hiding in the dark. With this in mind, Karina directly cracked a few eggs into the pot. "It's Venom. After seeing Nami's operation of lighting wood, I got new ideas. According to Venom's vision, he will build every member of the pirate group into a powerful individual." The moves previously given to Nami Marine 6 Styles and Maramara Fruit only enhanced her basic abilities. He knows that whether it is the Devil Fruit or the development of the power of man himself, it all varies from person to person. Some people like swordsmanship, some are good at sniping. This resulted in different strong men on the sea. But the premise of everything is to lay a good foundation. From Venom's perspective, Marine 6 Styles is a good approach. Nami still needs to understand the true direction in the future. Now, seeing Nami spark fire out of thin air made Venom think of it. Thoughts on Nami's future battle route. In Venom's knowledge, Logia's ability users all use themselves as the starting point, releasing natural abilities through the body, and then generating powerful combat power. For example, Aokiji, one of the 3 admirals. He couldn't create ice out of thin air. During the Summit War, he released icicles through his palms and transferred the cold air to the seawater through the icicles before freezing the tsunami created by Whitebeard. Kizaru and Akainu also use certain parts of the body to release their fruit abilities. And Nami, it seems to be able to generate flames from a distance. Does it mean that she can rely on her thoughts to mobilize the power of fire? Maybe Nami is a natural pyromancer. Nami suddenly asked during the meal. "By the way, boss, we are still in the initial stage of the Grand Line. Why did you choose this route?" The islands between the Grand Line are all connected magnetically. From the very beginning of Upside Down Mountain, there are 7 magnetic forces extending out. When people enter the Grand Line, they can choose any one at the beginning. But whatever island the magnetism started from, once selected it cannot be changed. We can only walk along the channel 1 island at a time. Eventually all 7 lines will converge on the Sabayati archipelago. But now, Venom has chosen the route that Luffy will take in the future. Now that Whiskey Peak, Little Garden, Drum Island, Alabasta, Gaia Island, Sky Island, Long Island, Uninhabited Island, 7 Waters, Enies Lobby, Thriller Bark, Sabayati Archipelago. No other reason. He knows the plot well and knows what will happen along the way. Venom's plan is simple. Just skip the unimportant parts. A place worth exploring must be visited. As for exploring the unknown, you can definitely explore other routes after you grow up. Venom smiled and explained with some emotion. "In a sense, I have traveled this route once, and I have even reached Wano Kuni in the second half of New World." Why? Nami and Karina were stunned, showing incredulous expressions. "No, boss, have you been to New World?" Nami was a little surprised. She never expected that Venom would tell such a secret. Karina speculated that based on how powerful Venom is now, it is indeed possible that he was a strong man who had reached the New World. At the same time, she also learned about the 2 people's stories from Nami's mouth in the past 2 days. After hearing that everything about Nami was arranged by Venom, Karina has a new understanding of Venom. Now that she heard from Venom that he had been to the New World, a desire to rely on Venom began to melt in her heart. No way, Karina is just a pretty smart little girl now. She has her own strengths, but it is undeniable that she is very weak. Not to mention in the Grand Line, even in the East Blue, it is difficult to survive. She needs to rely on someone worthy of her support. Now seeing Nami's transformation, she was really moved. But can Venom accept himself? So far, Venom has never stated that he wants to include him as a partner. Seeing that Karina seemed to be thinking, Venom didn't care. Of course, okay, it's time for Nami to talk about you. Quote. The combat skills I gave you before were all used to lay the foundation. Sooner or later, you will find your own fighting route. I just saw you using snap your fingers to ignite wood, and I thought this was an opportunity for you to tell me what you were thinking when you did this. Hearing Venom ask himself so patiently, Nami was very touched. It turns out that he has been watching me silently. I am absolutely with the right person. Boss Venom is indeed the best person in the world. After thinking for a moment, Nami spoke. Karina was making lunch at the time, and I wanted to show off my ability in front of her. But the moment the idea came to my mind, the fire in my body seemed to move, and then I ignited the wood. Hearing Nami's answer, Karina became indignant. She received too much stimulation from Nami along the way. Just like an exam, I originally agreed with my friend to hand in the blank paper together, but the other party got full marks. It's really too much. Nami, we are not good sisters anymore. I thought you were helping me, but in fact you were just showing off. Don't go too far. Of course, I'm really showing off. Nami smiled and admitted generously. After saying press, she took a deep breath. Come out, flame. After Nami gave the order, a flame floated out of thin air in front of the three people. The flames burned and jumped for a few seconds before disappearing into the air. Nami was very happy to see Huo giving herself such honor. I just asked Huo if I could show off in front of Karina again, and it felt like the fire in my body really jumped. As soon as I summoned it, it really came out. Magic. To be honest, Karina was indeed envious. And it's the kind of envy that makes everyone envious. There is no such obedient treasure in the world. Venom was a little surprised. Is this possible? He had heard of it before. Zone's phantom beast devil fruit contains thoughts. Just like the rubber fruit, it eluded the world government in various ways for 800 years before finally choosing Luffy. Is this also the case with Logia devil fruit? Venom guessed. Perhaps it's because Nami has an affinity for fire, or because she has an innate sensitivity to natural forces, that she can simply communicate with Mara fruit. Although this kind of communication is very, very weak. But if this is true, there are so many ways to play devil fruit. At the same time, Venom also immediately reminded me of Charlotte Linlin's special Hosme, the Sun Prometheus and the Thundercloud Zeus. Not to mention that Aunt Rue created them. But if Nami can reach the level of communication between Big Mom and Sun Prometheus, Venom has reason to believe that the fire power of Mara fruit will be several times more powerful than the Sun Prometheus. After all, Auntie's ability is derived from the soul fruit. And the flame of Mara fruit is the origin. Certainly. The current Venom is just speculation, and there is no way to confirm this. Everything will have to wait for time to be verified. Nami, I think I know your development path. After training. Hearing that Venom was going to train herself, Nami immediately became energetic. Eating is not important, what is important is being with the boss. Vixen, I'm going to train with the boss. I'll leave the steering to you. Remember to see the direction of the pointer and don't go astray. Mad. Karina felt offended again. If you dare to be on this boat, you can only do some trivial things. I want to train too. Feeling offended, Karina followed Nami out of the cabin. Why, just as the two walked to the deck, newspapers and reward orders fell from the sky. This is, I'm being rewarded. Nami held the reward order, pointed at his photo and the string of numbers, and said with incredible surprise on his face. Ho. Seeing this, Karina covered her mouth and laughed. Ha ha ha, I'm calling you a fool. Nami's body became limp and her face looked very depressed. 40 million Baileys. What should I do? 40 million Baileys. Although Nami was already prepared for the reward. But when it actually arrived, it still felt unacceptable. What's more, it's still a high reward of 50 million. If this continues, there will definitely be a lot of trouble in the future. It is equivalent to having a huge fortune hanging above your head at all times, and bounty hunters on the sea will definitely be ready to take action. Just as Nami continued to open other bounties, Karina's information also came out. For a moment, Nami felt a little more balanced. Well, Vixen, it seems that the person in this photo is you. Huh, Karina was completely confused. I am just a thief and have nothing to do with pirates. How is it possible to enter Marine's bounty system? After seeing the information clearly, Karina was completely confused. A member of the Venom Pirates, Karina, codenamed Phantom Thief, has a bounty of 5 million Baileys. It's only 1/10 of Nami's. As Nami's best friend, the two often compared each other, but now when compared, Karina was instantly defeated. A tens of millions level. A million level 1. Is it comparable? Involuntarily, Karina also changed from being frustrated by the bounty to being disappointed with the bounty. Because it really can't be compared. When this information came out, Nami and Karina also understood. All because of the appearance of the Venom Pirates and the bounty placed on Marine's head. Marine seems to have mistaken Karina for being a member of the Venom Pirates. Now that the reward has been lowered, Karina's road has been blocked. Even if she goes to Naval Headquarters to explain that she is just a thief, she still can't argue. Nami continued to flip through, and the next one was Venom's. When he saw the long-running numbers, he couldn't help but read, "Here is the boss's bounty. It's worth tens of millions. 120 million Baileys. Ah, as expected of my boss." Really? Venom floated out and took a quick look. Sure enough, I saw that my first bounty was 120 million Baileys. Venom estimated that this was because Marine in Logue Town reported it, which brought it to the attention of Naval Headquarters. It's because Smoker was defeated, and as the captain of the pirate group, he was the culprit who caused Marine's face to suffer, that's why the bounty is so high. You know Smoker is a Logia demon fruit power. He is also the most outstanding officer in Naval Headquarters. Represents the face of Naval Headquarters in East Blue. Naval Headquarters thought long and hard before finalizing the bounty. It just tells everyone that if you offend Marine, you will never have a good life in the future. Nami's bounty is due to the bonus of Mara Mara fruit. Yeah, Nami nodded heavily, and then took out the newspaper. There is also news about us here. It turns out that everyone regards Karina as our crew member. Besides, the newspapers say Don Quixote will fight us to the death. Ah, trouble, I didn't expect that Shichibukai named Doflamingo to be so powerful. Nami looked a little nervous and winked at Karina. The meaning is very obvious. Just tell Karina that the three of them are already on the same boat. It even hints that Karina should take the initiative to join the pirate group. Since Boss Venom allowed himself to complete the identity transformation from a thief, then if it is Karina, it must be okay. Karina is not stupid either and her mind works very fast. After the bounty was released, he was wanted. You can only survive on the sea by relying on a force to join you. Now the Venom Pirates are bound to everything. At the same time, seeing the recent changes in the little thieving cat Nami has made her a little excited. Karina was a little scared. Boss Venom, can you take me in? You've already called me boss, can I still refuse? Venom's voice came out, and he added, however, there are rules on this ship. When Karina heard the word, rules, she immediately said, I can wash and cook, and I can also manage the rudder. When Karina answered the question incorrectly, Nami immediately said, okay, Karina, I think you're quite smart. Boss means parasitism. A month passed. The first half of the Grand Line, a desert in Alabasta. The scorched loess and the scorching sun in the sky were scorching the earth. As a desert country, Alabasta's climate is mostly hot. The sky is filled with yellow sand, just like the Gobi Desert. Generally, few people set foot in such a place. Two figures advanced slowly in the desert. They are not fast. It's Nami and Karina. At this time, the two people have changed from friends to partners. Become someone who contributes to the great cause of pirates. During this period of sailing, they got along very happily with each other. Especially after being parasitized by Venom, Karina quickly integrated into the team. During this time, Venom has trained Nami into an excellent warrior. All in all, even if the Venom does not parasitize her body, she still possesses high-intensity combat effectiveness. If you have to compare horizontally. As for the Straw Hat Pirates after that, when they arrived in Alabasta, they didn't know any of the moves of Naval Headquarters, and they had never been exposed to things like hockey. At this time, Nami was already proficient in using Marine 6 styles. I have also initially learned armament hockey. Under the guidance of Venom, he created the ability of fire magic. As for Karina, the Venom did not let her relax. Also ask her to memorize Marine 6 Styles techniques, and Armament Hockey's techniques. Although the combat ability is far inferior to Nami. But most of the time these days, the Venom chooses to be parasitic on her body. It is equivalent to having two outstanding combatants on the same ship. Along the way, the Venom pirates also passed through several islands, and encountered several groups of pirates on the way looking for trouble. Of course, they all wiped out the enemies easily. Venom guessed that if you want to continue to improve your combat power, you should continue to choose stronger opponents. With this thought in mind, Venom summoned his own panel. Host: Venom. The first parasite host, Nami 91%. Second parasite host, Karina 35%. Abilities: Mara Fruit, Armament Hockey, Marine 6 Styles. When the fusion progress reaches 100%, the host will have telepathy with the parasite, and even if the two are thousands of miles apart, they can actively and instantly fuse. If the host leaves the parasite, it will lose its ability and become a mortal body, and will no longer have combat effectiveness. The host can switch between the two parasites at will, and the maximum distance is 100 meters. Staring at the attribute panel in his mind, Venom muttered to himself. Now, Nami has almost been developed. The rest needs to be improved by herself. As long as I check in on her, I can slowly increase her progress to 100%. This matter cannot be rushed. But Karina, how to improve is a problem. After all, it's hard to find an original devil fruit on this route. Venom believes that devil fruit, as a secret treasure on the sea, is the best way for people to reach the sky in one step. Just like Nami, after getting the Mara fruit, she can actually communicate with the devil in it, which is a big surprise. However, devil fruit also has its good and bad qualities. Not every devil fruit is very powerful. And now I don't have the bug ability like dark fruit, which can take away the devil fruit from others. He knows that dark fruit is likely to be on Whitebeard's territory in the New World. Just didn't find it. But in the vast sea, even if Venom rushes to Whitebeard's territory now, the chance of finding dark fruit is almost zero. Maybe Blackbeard was right. It was dark fruit who chose him. However, Venom immediately thought that maybe the zone bat fruit on Sleeping Ancient Island was still an ownerless thing in its vampire form. According to the plot of the theatrical version, this devil fruit, a phantom beast species, belongs to the Red Earl. The Red Earl had to wait until Luffy made a big fuss about Impel Down before taking advantage of the chaos to escape from prison. It's still a long way from now. Venom can wait and take this fruit when he stops by later. In his impression, although this phantom beast devil fruit didn't show many abilities, its ability to catalyze people's aging and replenish their own vitality was already at a bug level. Definitely belongs to the first echelon of devil fruit's abilities. Parasitize Karina again. Move on. The desert is like this. When there is wind, it can stir up yellow sand all over the sky. Boom boom boom. A violent explosion came from behind the Venom 3. But Venom ignored it and told Nami and Karina to move on. In this sea, struggle exists all the time. Besides, this is Alabasta, a country in turmoil. According to the current point of time, Shichibukai's crocodile has been laid out here. But as long as it didn't disturb him, Venom didn't bother to pay attention. However, it backfired, just when the three of them were about to leave. Boom! Behind Venom, there was another violent explosion. The two figures were directly blown away, flying high over the heads of the three people. Nami and Karina both frowned. It can't be so unlucky, right? Many pirates have come to trouble the Venom pirates before, all for the sake of their heads. Nothing else, just because it's valuable. At this time, a figure with aqua hair, a ponytail, and a beautiful face nervously climbed up from the yellow sand. Her yellow shirt was stained by yellow sand, and her expression was very nervous. She shook a man with strange curly hair and said, "Ikaram. Are you okay?" After shaking gently for a few times, the curly-haired man raised his hand with difficulty. "Princess, please leave quickly." "No, how could I abandon you and run away alone? You were hurt because of me," Princess Vivi said with tears in her eyes and a somewhat mournful voice. Ikaram raised his scarred arm and said, "Her Royal Highness, you are Alabasta's hope. You must not stay here. It is dangerous here. If it is exposed, the efforts made by our country will be in vain." Before Vivi could speak, a sneer came from the yellow sand. Walk. Which way to go? A man wearing a long brown coat with the number 5 feet marked on it and an afro revealed himself. At the same time, in the sky, the voice of a fashionably dressed woman also came out. Yes, suspect, where are you going? Strangely enough, this woman is actually floating in midair. Both men were from the Baroque studio. The leader of the studio is Crocodile, the sand crocodile from 7 Warlords of the Sea. Of these two people, the male is a user with explosive fruit abilities. In Baroque studio, his codename is Mr. 5. The woman is a person with light lion fruit ability, codenamed Miss Valentine. Seeing the two men chasing her, Vivi looked a little nervous and clenched her teeth. Originally, she planned to enter the Baroque studio as a spy and investigate their plot to overthrow Alabasta, but his own people were noticed before they could successfully penetrate inside. Although her identity as Princess Alabasta has not been completely exposed, as long as she is caught and investigated, the entire plan will come to nothing. All these years of hard work have come to nothing. Ikaram stood up with difficulty, protecting Vivi behind him. His pupils shrank, but he remained determined. As the Alabasta guard captain, Ikaram's most important task is to protect Princess Vivi's safety. And just when what Ikaram was most worried about was about to happen, Mr. suddenly turned to look at Nami and Karina. He put his hands into his trouser pockets and walked over slowly. There was contempt in his tone, and he stared at the two of them with his eyes under his sunglasses. Hey, isn't this the East Blue newcomer mentioned in previous reports? We arrived at Alabasta so soon. Did you escape all the way here? Ha! Seeing two familiar faces, Mr. 5 thought of the newspaper he saw some time ago and recognized Nami and Karina. According to Mr. 5's estimation, it would take a month and a half to walk from the Grand Line intersection to the Alabasta boundary. Able to get here early. It just proves that they didn't stop on the road at all. It would be such a cowardly thing for a pirate group not to stop in the middle of the journey. Although the bounty of the Venom pirates is very high, Mr. 5 does not take it seriously. When he was in the studio before, Baroque's immediate boss Mr. 0 issued an order. If you meet someone from the Venom pirates, you don't need to be polite. Send him directly. Mr. 0 is Crocodile, one of the 7 Warlords of the Sea. The bounty is 8,100 for playing Pele, and the reason why it is so small is entirely because he is a Shichibukai. His bounty was frozen when he entered the system. If things go by normal circumstances, his bounty will not be less than 500 million Baileys. Moreover, he has a connection with Doflamingo, and they hope that he can snipe this pirate group that has brought shame to the Don Quixote family in the first half of the journey. Of course, Crocodile did not follow Doflamingo's orders, but promised to provide 3 devil fruits if he helped get rid of the Venom pirates. Overall, it's just a deal. Venom didn't choose to stop, and didn't even look at the two of them. At his request, Nami and Karina kept walking. Stop, Miss Valentine said, dissatisfied. As a senior cadre of Baroque Studio, she had never been treated with such contempt before. The attitude of Nami and Karina made her very unhappy. On the other hand, Mr. 5 thought that the two were running away, and confirmed his suspicion that the Venom pirates were cowards, and Mr. 0 happened to have assigned the task of arresting them. So, why not take advantage of this opportunity to get rid of all 4 people in front of you? You can escape if you want, but keep your life. Our boss has given the order. I am here to inform you, the members of the Venom pirates. Venom was speechless when he saw trouble coming to his door. The other party obviously knew about his pirate group, and according to what they said, he was ordered to kill him by Crocodile. Now that things have reached this point, it will be your bad luck to meet me. Faced with the words Venom came from Karina. Miss Valentine, who looked very fashionable, immediately became disdainful. She just happened to be unhappy with these 2 beautiful women, and now she wants them to have a taste of it. Ho ho ho, are we in trouble? Miss Valentine floats above Karina's head. He immediately used his fruit ability. Light Lion Fruit's ability user can freely change her weight. When she is the lightest, she is only 1 kilogram, but when she is 1 kilogram, she can make her body float into the air. You can also control yourself to compile it into 10,000 kilograms, and directly hit the top. Just in the blink of an eye, she, who was originally only 1 kilogram, immediately surged to 10,000 kilograms. Under the huge weight, she exploded with terrifying power and speed. Saw such a magical thing. Karina couldn't help but twitch the corners of her eyes. There was nothing she could do, and worry immediately came to her mind. However, she didn't panic, but felt safer than she had ever felt before. Because, at this moment, the venom has taken control of her body. This Miss Valentine's attack method is really unique, but compared to the Golden Lion's lion fruit, it seems a bit insignificant. The moment Miss Valentine fell, a huge explosion sounded in the desert. Under the huge weight, Miss Valentine fell hard. A hole was immediately made in the soft desert. You're really ignorant. You can tell at a glance that you haven't been beaten severely. Venom's tone was cold, but he was still very annoyed inside. No one can accept such unreasonable provocation. You know what's interesting. If you know what's interesting, just cut off your head and give it to me. Miss Valentine floated again from the yellow sand and said with some disdain. On the other side, Mr. Five immediately picked up his nose and said, "Let's get on the road soon." The next second, he dug out a squishy booger and flicked it out with his finger. Boom. As a user with the ability to explode fruits, any part of MR5's body can explode, even popping boogers. The breath he blows out of his mouth can also be used as an explosive. He is not afraid of bombs either. Even if he eats bombs in his mouth, he will not be harmed. The explosion swept across the distance. The yellow sand became more obvious. People can't see clearly what's going on inside. At this time, both Nami and Karina felt nauseated. Vivi on one side was not affected, but her face was also very ugly. It seemed that the two girls in front of him who were just like him had resisted the attacks of the Baroque studio people for him. If I hadn't fallen into this place, they won't be in trouble. But, are they still alive now? Whoosh, countless amounts of black liquid emerged from Karina's body and then covered her. The next second, the venom rushed towards Mr. Five at a speed invisible to the naked eye. The Mr. Five attack is really obscene. Such people should not be alive. The terrifying aura was immediately released, and for a moment, Mr. Five level felt a chill coming out. Boom, a black figure passed by, and a huge fist struck directly. In an instant, Mr. Five was punched through the chest. Puff, Mr. Five's blood is like a fountain. Spray directly onto Miss Valentine's face. She instantly became a celebrity. This moment, Miss Valentine was dumbfounded. Unbelievable. Mr. Five. Miss Valentine had infinite fear on her face, and a frightened sound came directly from her mouth. The two have been old partners for many years, and she knows each other's strength very well. That is a powerful ability that can blow up everything. But now, in an instant, before anyone could react, he was punched through the chest. Killed instantly with one punch. And the next second, Miss Valentine felt a burning sensation. She raised her hands in surprise, and her whole body began to burn, visible to the naked eye. Ah! I'm on fire. She looked at Nami, who was a little further away. She didn't seem to even move. Miss Valentine looked in disbelief. This time, what kind of strong man did he and Mr. Five meet? Working in the Baroque. Is it worth it? Until her death, Miss Valentine was thinking about this issue. It took 3 seconds to deal with the two people. Miss Valentine and Mr. Five are just like minions in front of the venom of Nami and Armament Hockey who have Logia abilities. If they hadn't taken the initiative to cause trouble, Venom didn't even bother to pay attention to them. But now, it's not as simple as ignoring it. Miss and Valentine paid the price with their lives. And let Venom know that Crocodile is targeting him. I'm sorry, some grievances can be settled earlier, and dragging them on will only make people think that they are afraid. Died. Vivi and Ikaram looked at the scene happening in front of them in disbelief. The two of them hadn't even fully reacted yet. These two people are so crazy. Killed the senior cadres of Baroque Studio in a short period of time. With such strength, he probably can't even compare to that mysterious president. Let's go, it's time to settle the score. Venom said lazily. This time, Nami performed well. After receiving Venom's performance, Nami smiled very happily. He, thank you boss, it's all good education from boss. Boss, you were so handsome just now. When will I be as powerful as Nami? Karina said with a bit of envy and admiration. Venom said, it won't take long. I told you, the boss is the most handsome in the world. The figures of the two people gradually moved away and were about to disappear into the yellow sand. And Vivi woke up immediately. Ikaram, if we can ask them for help, our country will be saved. Vivi explained. Yes, they are so powerful. I have never seen such a powerful person. Vivi nodded heavily and strode towards the direction of Venom and others. There was more and more yellow sand, and the two figures were about to disappear. At this time, Vivi shouted to the two of them, "Two benefactors, please wait." Hearing the voice from behind, Nami and Karina stopped. Judging from the voice, it was the girl with blue hair. They had all noticed the beautiful girl before. However, Venom had explained it long ago. On the sea, you can ignore what happens around you as much as you can, so the two of them had no plans to get married with Vivi before. As for saving the blue-haired girl, it was a complete accident. Who told those two dead men to mess with the Venom pirates? Seeing Nami and Karina stop, Vivi immediately ran up. Her eyes flickered, as if she was thinking about something. These two powerful and beautiful young ladies appear in Alabasta. Their terrifying abilities are unprecedented. Maybe they will become Alabasta's saviors. However, Vivi was also a little scared. Because, judging from the way they attack, they are definitely very violent. Are they the villains from the sea? Are you okay, sweetie Vivi? At this time, a venomous voice came from Karina's body. Ah, little cutie. Vivi saw with her own eyes that Karina did not speak, and her voice did not sound like a girl's. Do you know me? The next second, Venom's head popped out from Karina's shoulder. That terrifying face made Vivi jump. She swore that she had never seen such a terrifying face. However, considering that she was asking for something from him, Vivi also noticed the adoring look in Nami and Karina's eyes towards the terrifying person in front of them. If true, then he must be the backbone of the three. Therefore, in such a situation, if the other party knows me, will the chance of asking him for help be greater? Actually, what Vivi doesn't know is, even without her request, Venom is ready to teach Crocodile a lesson. As soon as I came to Alabasta, I was targeted. Isn't this looking for trouble? At this time, Ikaram also dragged his injured body here. And all his eyes were filled with worry. Because he saw from Venom's words that he knew Vivi's princess identity. So what is the purpose of this somewhat terrifying person in front of me? I want to ask you to help me, help this country. Vivi didn't think too much, she just grasped a life-saving straw. She knows that if she misses, Alabasta will continue to be under the dark cloud of Baroque Studio. Venom can completely guess Vivi's thoughts. He said calmly, "You mean to ask me to take action, but what price are you prepared to pay for it?" Chapter 31. Cost. Yes, you need to pay for hiring someone to take action. Vivi also understood and was about to speak. The next second Venom's words stunned her. We are pirates. If you want to ask pirates to take action, of course you have to pay the price. If anything, is there anything else on the sea that can attract Venom? That is to make your pirate group stronger. He cares about all factors that are conducive to the development of the pirate group. Are you pirates? Vivi and Ikaram were stunned for a moment. It was as if I had seen something incredible. In their opinion, pirates is actually the same as Baroque Studio. They are all evil forces on the sea. As small as burning, killing and looting. So big that it endangers the country. When interacting with such people, you must remain 100% vigilant. Now, Vivi discovered that the person she was seeking was actually a pirate. Vivi was a little confused. Venom chuckled, "Isn't it strange? We are not only pirates, but also the most ferocious pirates on the sea. One day, even children will be scared to cry when they hear our names. I know Alabasta's situation very well. The Baroque Studio is the source of the kingdom's troubles. If you want to ask me to take action, you have to pay a price." What Venom didn't expect was that he was going to settle the score with Crocodile. Now someone actually has to pay for it. Naturally, such a good thing will not be let go. Therefore, I took the opportunity to raise the issue of price. It is in line with the style of pirates to take advantage of any advantage. Yeah, Vivi nodded firmly in agreement with Venom's words. In her opinion, the person in front of her was strange. But the intelligence capabilities are strong. He knew the Baroque studio better than the average royal. Judging from the fact that he killed Miss Valentine before. At least it shows that they are not on one side. As for himself, he has the same goal as the other party. Vivi took the risk and said firmly, no matter what the cost, please help Alabasta pull out the nail in the Baroque studio. I'm willing to pay a reward of 100 million belly. Hear Vivi say this. Both Nami and Karina couldn't help but twitch their eyebrows. They never imagined that being a pirate could make money so openly. Can you earn 100 million belly in one move? It took Nami several years to earn 100 million belly. I think you haven't figured out the situation yet. Baroque Studios Mr. Zero is actually the 7 warlords of the sea, the sand crocodile. Princess Vivi, the price you paid for a Shichibukai's head seems a little low. What? Mr. Zero is actually Shichibukai. Crocodile. Whether it's Vivi or Ikaram, at this stage they just want to break into Baroque Studio to collect information. Still haven't gotten to the heart of the Baroque. In other words, they know nothing about the man behind the crisis that has plunged the country of Alabasta. Now, after hearing from Venom that Mr. Zero is Crocodile, the two fell into despair. It turns out that the background of Baroque Studio is far beyond my imagination. And, Venom's final words. It was obvious that he was reminding the two of them that he knew the identity of Princess Vivi. The man in front of me is not only terrifying in strength, he seems to have foreseen everything. But Nami and Karina, they all felt that this news was too exciting. Although Venom had already said that he had arrived in the new world, he was now facing the challenge of Shichibukai, which still left the two of them in a daze. Too fast. How long has it been since I entered the Grand Line? It got to the point where I had to face Shichibukai. See everyone's expressions. Venom doesn't explain too much either. He said that the Mr. Zero of Baroque Studio was Crocodile, but he wanted to amplify the favor and not just define the killing of Crocodile as a transaction. Shichibukai's reputation is much more powerful than ordinary pirates. Others would avoid it and would not choose to wade through this muddy water. No matter what the cost, I will save this country. Vivi expressed a firm expression. If it is Shichibukai, 100 million belly is indeed low, please tell me the reward you want. Entered the other party's path. Venom began to make calculations in his mind. What does Alabasta have now? Although the kingdom's territory is vast, it is located in a desert area and the land is barren. In other words, this is a poor country. Not to mention other things. A country that Baroque Studio cannot deal with obviously does not have the strength. Of course, Venom knows that Alabasta also has information about ancient Pluton. He shook his head and directly denied it. Alabasta does have information on ancient weapon Pluton. But Venom has no intention of touching that thing now. The top priority is to build a pirate group first. In terms of staffing, now that Venom has trained Nami, Karina still needs some opportunities to grow to Nami's level, so adding personnel is not important. At this stage, he has no plans to recruit more crew members. In addition to the personnel configuration of a pirate group, the only thing left is the hardware of the pirate ship. I want 500 million Baileys to build a pirate ship. Venom estimated the value of building a pirate ship and then said, 500 million Baileys, pirate ship. Princess Vivi and Ikaram were stunned. The other party only wants money and has no other requirements. Just asking Bailey to build a pirate ship. They both breathed a sigh of relief. Although 500 million belly is a huge amount of money for Alabasta, if the other party wants things like royal power and land, it will be even more difficult. But now, seeing that the other party has no plans in this regard, I finally feel relieved. But, Alabasta as a kingdom, there must be funds in the treasury. But there can't be many. Now that we are facing a difficult situation, if we really had extra money, we would have used it to train the army. Especially now, the kingdom is in chaos, and Baroque Studio is secretly causing harm to everything. Spending so much money at once might bring chaos to the kingdom. These 500 million belly, let's. Ikaram was a little embarrassed and stuttered a little while speaking. This is tantamount to directly hollowing out the royal family. Seeing this, Venom didn't waste any time and took Nami directly to prepare to leave. I didn't expect that Alabasta wouldn't be able to bear any condition I made. Never mind. Anyway, I got into trouble with Crocodile, so I just made some requests in passing. In addition, the country of Alabasta is already dilapidated, and it is indeed difficult to meet their request for 500 million belly. Before saying it, Venom didn't take it seriously. At this moment, Vivi seemed thoughtful and immediately said, Boss Venom, please wait, I am willing to give you the Nefertari. It will definitely meet Boss Venom's requirements. What? Nefertari? Ikaram was immediately shocked. No, Princess, then this is the boat you will use to get married in the future. Ikaram was very reluctant. He thought that the Nefertari should be given to pirates to be used as a pirate ship, damaging Alabasta's image. Moreover, this ship is of great significance to the entire Alabasta. See Ikaram's expression. Venom has taken some interest in the Nefertari. Seeing Venom, Nami and others paused. Vivi could only explain. When I was born, Alabasta was still a wealthy kingdom. At that time, the people were very wealthy, and the authority of the royal family was recognized by everyone. At that time, my father built a top-notch royal ship for me. It took several years to build it one after another. By the time the Nefertari was built, I had grown up. However, just when the construction of the Nefertari was completed, Alabasta encountered a crisis. I asked my father to sell the ship many times, but he always refused. Until now, that ship has never been used and has been preserved to this day. If Nefertari can be of use to you, consider it Alabasta's thanks. Vivi explained, laughing. If we can use the Nefertari, we can bring peace to Alabasta. I don't think there's anything in the world that can realize its value more than this. But, Ikaram was still unwilling, because this represents the royal power of a royal family. It is also a dowry for the princess. This is your happiness, princess. Vivi looked a little relieved. She even believed that this was the Nefertari's inherent mission. Now Venom is willing to use the reward of a ship to solve Baroque Studio. As if it was destined. Well, Ikaram, my happiness is that Alabasta returns to peace. Besides, I have never thought about getting married. Venom, on the other hand, is obviously happy to accept it. Nefertari is a royal ship. It can't be compared to ordinary pirate ships. At the same time, according to Vivi and the other two, the Nefertari was carefully built by the king over many years and was not a temporary sailing ship. Quality and value will be higher. Venom smiled and said, No problem, Nefertari, I will help you solve the crisis in the kingdom. Princess. Ikaram pulled Princess Vivi's sleeve, trying to stop her. Because the Nefertari is more than just a ship, it is the kingdom's vision for the future. Secrets about the Nefertari. Ikaram still knows a little bit. It is said that when Vivi was not yet born, the king knew from the prophecy that the kingdom would welcome a princess, and this princess would also take over the mission of making Alabasta prosperous. In prophecy, she will step forward to save the country when Alabasta encounters difficulties. By now, Princess Vivi does it without anyone asking. Get ready to dive into a Baroque studio. Save Alabasta. Everything seems to be developing according to that prophecy. However, it was also mentioned in the prophecy. The Nefertari will also witness the princess's wedding. Now if the Nefertari is given to the pirates, so what will be the outcome of the second half of the prophecy? It's unimaginable. Vivi turned her head. Shaking her head at Ikaram, she expressed her determination. She knows. If you can't even protect the kingdom, what can a ship do? What's more, after so many years, Vivi has been experiencing the hardships of the people. I have long thought of selling the boat. Where is the headquarters of Baroque Studio? Venom smiled. Do you want to go directly? The Nefertari hasn't been given to you yet. Vivi was a little surprised. She had never seen such a cheerful person, and she was also a little worried. You should be very careful when facing the crocodile. At least plan it. If you don't sign a contract, what should I do if the other party regrets it? Even when she was worried, Vivi still pointed in the direction of the headquarters of Baroque Studio. If I take action, there will be no problem. At the same time, you don't have to rush to give me the Nefertari. I will come and collect it after it is done. Of course, if you want to witness it, I won't have any objection. After saying that, Venom left with Nami and Karina. Yellow sand began to fly all over the sky. Vivi and Ikaram were left stunned in place. Ikaram spoke only after seeing Nami and others walking away. Princess, do you really believe him? We have all seen his strength, and he is not charging us any compensation now. Vivi turned her head and looked at Ikaram, with helplessness in her tone. With that kind of strength, there is absolutely no need to deceive us. Moreover, he knew my identity and didn't hurt us. I can't think of a second way out except trusting him. I hope he will bring hope to Alabasta. But Ikaram made up his mind and felt helpless, so he told Vivi about the prophecy. Princess, the prophecy also said that your true destiny will take you to sail the sea on the Nefertari. Ah, Vivi was completely stunned when she heard Ikaram's words. She was completely unaware of the prophecy. No wonder my father would rather demolish the palace than sell the Nefertari when the kingdom encountered difficulties. And now, doesn't the prophecy refer to the terrifying-looking Venom? Vivi simply didn't dare to think about it anymore. Forget it, Ikaram, let's follow and watch from a distance. Now the kingdom is falling apart. The Marine, world government, and pirates have the final say in this sea. Most countries in the Grand Line have no say at all. The sea is the world of the strong. There is no doubt about the strength of a great pirate like Crocodile. Who can resist when faced with a pirate invasion? But in this case, if the Venom pirates are willing to use a ship, they are willing to accept their commission. The target is even more Crocodile in Shichibukai. What else is there to say? Pulling the kingdom out of crisis first is what Vivi cares about most. Let's go, don't think about it. Inside a casino in Alabasta. The 3 members of the Venom pirates have arrived at Crocodile's lair. Wow, boss, this is a casino. There is a lot of ill-gotten wealth here. Seeing the luxurious casino, Nami's eyes immediately shone with excitement. According to Venom's arrangement, the journey doesn't need to be tiring. Now it's time to find trouble with Crocodile. Naturally, I wanted to wander around his territory. You can have fun while looking for trouble. The Baileys that I had previously snatched from the Don Quixote family in Dragon Paradise were almost never spent. When they saw the casino, they naturally wanted the 2 members to have a good time. Nami raised his eyebrows slightly and looked at Karina with a puzzled look on his face. Fox, are you doing your old habits again? Karina stuck out her little tongue and said, yes, we are not thieves now. Hey, now you are no longer little thieving cats and monster thieves. When you are by my side from now on, you don't have to continue your old profession, otherwise I can't afford to lose that person. Now the 3 of them are people with hundreds of millions of Baileys. And Vivi has already given away a royal ship. Suddenly he became a big player in the sea. It's really unjustifiable to do petty theft again. Although Venom knew that the 2 only stole ill-gotten gains, the girl was always involved in theft and had a bad reputation. What's more, the 2 of them still have bounties. I know, boss. The casino was full of people smoking cigars. The air is very bad, making both Nami and Karina cover their noses. Oh, you 2 girls have already arrived at the casino, why are you pretending to be pure? Come, have some fun with me, I guarantee you will make a lot of money. Ha 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 ha. A burly man walked towards them. He seemed to notice that Nami and Karina looked sweet and deliberately teased them. After taking a strong puff of the cigar, he was about to spit it out towards the 2 of them. The people around him have long been accustomed to it, and they all joked, that guy from Casal is teasing a beautiful woman again. No, this old guy is good at this. I have to say that this time his vision is quite good. They are 2 top-notch little girls. Lousy wants it too. This big man named Casal is quite famous in the casino. Everyone in the casino is talking about it, and didn't care at all about Nami and Karina's feelings. In their opinion, this is a place for men. If a woman comes here to play, she must be here to fish and deserves to be bullied. Venom was also speechless. There are ugly things everywhere in this sea. Control Karina and slap away the smoke before it spreads. Start taking action in the next second. Phew, poof. With Karina's arm moving, 2 finger pistols instantly penetrated the kneecaps of this burly man. Castle was hurt and knelt in front of the Venom pirates. The severe pain made him scream. He didn't expect that this time he would encounter a hard problem. Previously, it was only because he saw 2 harmless little girls that he had the courage to tease them, but in the blink of an eye, he couldn't stand up. And people always have to be taught a lesson before they will have a long memory. Casal just remembered. The 2 people in front of me are the crew members of the Venom pirates reported in the newspaper. The bounty for that pirate group of only 3 people has exceeded 100 million belly. It all happened so fast, so that outsiders, except Kasal, could not tell what the situation was. Hey, Kasal, it's not fashionable to pick up girls like this now. What do you mean by kneeling down? Ha ha. At this moment, Venom controlled Karina and came directly in front of Kasal. Kasal, who was full of desire to survive, spoke tremblingly. 2. Adults, please spare your lives. Kasal knelt on the ground, his body trembling, and his heart felt cold. However, Venom had no intention of letting him go. Call the casino attendants directly and ask them to light 3 cigars. When everything was ready, Venom slapped Kasal, smoked out the cigar in his mouth, and ordered in an unquestionable tone, "Open your mouth wider." Kasal did not dare to resist and could only obey Venom's orders. He couldn't safely guess what the other party was going to do. Seeing the other party's cooperation, Venom directly took the 3 cigars handed over by the waiter and stuffed the lit ends into the mouth of the burly man. "Smoke it well, if you can't finish it, you will stay here for your life." Calm words sounded in the casino. Those who were clamoring for gambling only reacted after seeing the 2 groups of bloodline where Kasal was kneeling. This is not Kasal's tactic of teasing little girls. It was obvious that Kasal had been taught a lesson. And the words of Venom. What fell in Kasal's ears was even more terrifying than Shinigami's announcement. Aha! His tongue was already blistered by the burning cigar. The heartbreaking pain went directly through his mouth and spread throughout his body. But Kasal did not dare to make any resistance and could only bite his cigar and keep nodding. In order to keep the cigar burning, he kept breathing to let air in and ensure that the cigar would not burn out. The burning pain directly caused him to collapse. For a while, he felt like his ears were smoking. Several flames appeared from Nami's fingers, and he looked at the people around him who had just mocked him. Just snap your fingers. The pants around the knees of several people were on fire. Several people were so frightened that they knelt down to put out the fire. Looking at Nami with fear on his face. It was like seeing a devil. What are you doing standing there in a daze? Put on the cigar and arrange it according to this big man's way. Venom pulled out a few Baileys from Karina's pocket and said to the casino attendant. The waiter has never seen this scene before. Just a cigar job. They thought it was a normal service in the casino. It can be seen that after realizing the other party's purpose, the whole person is numb. After hearing Venom's command, we can only do as we are told. There is no way, those kneeling men have already agreed. Nami and Karina found a gaming table and sat down, watching Kasal and others quietly as if they were watching a monkey show. Call your boss out and ask him to come and play with us. You too. A tall woman with a tall nose and a very characteristic imperial sister came down the stairs on the 2nd floor. Our boss is not here, why don't you come to the 2nd floor? When he saw the visitor, he immediately attracted the attention of everyone in the casino. On the stairs, a woman stood there. She has bright black eyes and straight black hair, which makes her look very 3-dimensional. Nico Robin. No, to be precise, she is Miss All Sunday now. He is also the current vice president of the Baroque Working Society. The first person under Crocodile. Venom was a little surprised when he saw Nico Robin for the first time. He originally just wanted to settle the score directly with Crocodile. According to Nico Robin, the sand crocodile does not seem to be here, so it is hard to say where it is hiding. Crocodile is hidden deep enough in Alabasta and has many strongholds. It is not easy to find it. As the vice president of Baroque, perhaps Nico Robin knows the whereabouts of Crocodile. For Robin, in fact, Venom is still very interested. First of all, there are not many people in the entire Grand Line who can be female pirates. Even fewer can form combat effectiveness. There is no doubt that Nico Robin is the first one. According to the plot in the original work, Nico Robin's combat power is greater than Nami. Of course, now under the cultivation of Venom, Nami's current strength is definitely better than Nico Robin. While Nami and Karina were looking at Robin, Robin was also looking at the two of them. After seeing Nami's face, Robin knew. The other party is a pirate from East Blue. Venom pirates. They had just entered the Grand Line not long ago. Previously, Crocodile also issued an order to consider arresting the Venom pirates when they encountered them from East Blue. Although Robin has no intention of causing trouble with the Venom pirates, But now that the other party is on his own territory, naturally, we need to communicate. But what I didn't expect was that after just meeting, Robin just realized that the two girls were so young. How amazing. I haven't met such an interesting person in a long time. Robin couldn't help but feel happy when he saw Casal and others kneeling on the ground and sucking on cigars. She has no interest in maintaining order in the casino. 2, no, it should be 3, right. Please come up. Luo Bing waved and said to Nami and others. That's fine. Soon, under the leadership of Nico Robin, the three of them went upstairs. And the moment the door closed, Venom appeared in front of Nico Robin. At the same time, his voice also came through. Miss. All Sunday, Nico Robin to be precise, don't bother, we're not here to gamble. Mr. Zero, where is your immediate boss, Crocodile? Nico Robin has already seen Venom's name and photo. I wasn't surprised by his sudden appearance. What's surprising is that the other party actually knows all of his identity. Miss. All Sunday, Nico Robin. After the O'Hara Buster call incident. As a child, Nico Robin looked for jobs to make ends meet. Drifting on the sea, but because of his identity and the astonishing amount of the reward, she was betrayed and abandoned by others several times. In the following time, Robin hid in the underground world to avoid Marine's pursuit and relied on betraying others to survive. Finally arrived at Alabasta, work under Crocodile. She has experienced countless things, and she is used to intrigues and intrigues. Therefore, although she was very surprised by what Venom said, she didn't show it. Nico Robin was not in a hurry, but poured a glass of wine for the three of them. Is this the captain of the Venom pirates? Yes, this is our Venom boss. Nami nodded. Well, I have read about you in the newspaper. I wonder what you are going to do with my boss. Nico Robin said with a smile while holding a wine glass. Now she is still very dedicated to the Baroque studio. Venom knows that this is also a necessity for survival. She had to work under Crocodile. Of course, Robin also knew in his heart that Crocodile valued her so much. It's entirely because she can understand ancient texts. Before joining Baroque works, Crocodile said many times that the existence of Baroque is because there are monuments with historical texts in Alabasta, and that's when Nico Robin comes on stage. Maybe after being used, it will be thrown away like garbage. After all, he is a criminal pursued by the world government. When his whereabouts are actually revealed to Marine, Crocodile has no reason to protect himself. I will kill him. Venom chuckled and stated his purpose directly. What? After exclaiming in exclamation, Nico Robin did not react for a long time. But after she really reacted, she laughed instead. Captain Venom, since you already know that my boss is Crocodile, you must also know that he is the 7 warlords of the sea. I've seen a lot of new pirates who regard Shichibukai as their rivals in the past 2 years. But, as you can see now, he is still alive and well. There was a reminder in Robin's words. So, are you serious? Nico Robin was a little surprised. He thought the other party was joking. All right, Venom took over. Of course I'm serious. On your part, I don't think you've thought about it seriously. Being the vice president of Baroque is also your plan to seek safety. In fact, you are full of uneasiness and have no loyalty to Crocodile. Just tell him his location and don't waste my time anymore. ... Nico Robin didn't expect that such words would come out of the other party's mouth. These words are very straightforward. Moreover, the confidence is huge. The Venom in front of him not only knew all of Baroque's intelligence and personnel structure, but also knew everyone's identity. What's more important is that the other party also accurately stated his psychological thoughts. She has never been loyal to her boss. If this matter is exposed, it will be a big blow to Nico Robin's future path. Where to go? It has always been a survival problem she has to face. If this idea is exposed, Crocodile will not let himself go. Who is he? What's the purpose? Was it sent here by Marine? But he is obviously a pirate. Seeing Nico Robin hesitate, Venom didn't want to be verbose. You don't have to worry about having nowhere to go after Crocodile dies. Let me tell you first, our Venom pirates will welcome you. How about it? Can we talk now? Venom raised his head and looked at Robin. His eyes seemed to see through everything, and even his tone contained a hint of threat. After saying that, the Venom covered Karina's body. The momentum he exuded was completely different from the previous second. At this time, Venom is like a violent killing machine. When you really have to face it, it will make people feel scared. Nami also knew what Venom meant, but didn't express it. If Boss Venom takes action himself, he won't have anything to worry about. But what Nami and Karina didn't expect was, Venom seems to attach great importance to Nico Robin in front of him. The words in the front are just pulling people on board. Nami is certainly welcome to Nico Robin, who is also a woman. But depending on the situation, the other party doesn't seem to be happy. Robin is a user with the ability of the 100 flowers fruit, which allows any part of the body to bloom like a flower on any tangible thing within sight and perform attacks or other uses. Activate abilities by crossing your hands. Naturally, Robin didn't have the courage to challenge the Venom pirates. He was preparing to use his abilities and was completely thinking about how to escape. At this time, Venom immediately dodged and came directly behind Robin. One hand clasped Robin's hand behind her back. One hand had already grabbed her neck. I know all your experiences. In the past, you were betrayed by everyone and wandered on the sea. But after you realized this, you relied on betrayal to survive. You don't trust anyone, and you don't expect anyone to trust you. You hope for a warm haven, but you don't have any confidence. It doesn't matter, because I'm here. I completely understand your mentality. Now I give you one last chance to tell me Crocodile's location. After I deal with him, I will talk about your affairs. Venom finished a series of words. Robin immediately lost all ability to resist. The arms that had been struggling suddenly dropped. Because every word Venom said spoke to the depths of her heart. Just a few simple sentences. It can be seen. Venom knew her as well as she knew herself. In front of such a person, Robin would have no idea of resisting. After calming down, Robin said, "Then can you agree to my request?" You say, "I don't want to get involved in this matter. Do you think I will lose? So I am preparing a way out for myself. It doesn't matter. If you are believed in the future, just wait for the news." Quote. In a stronghold somewhere in the town, Crocodile sat on his large sofa. Behind him, there is a glass-enclosed pool, in which several ferocious crocodiles are performing death rolls in the water. Crocodile was in an extremely bad mood at the moment. He discovered that someone in Alabasta's royal family already knew his information and had begun to infiltrate it. What made him even more irritable was, got the news earlier. Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine have died in the desert. Most likely, it was the royal family of Alabasta who did it. If that's the case, then Alabasta may have high-level combat power hidden inside. His goal of forming a secret criminal company to overthrow Alabasta and obtain the ancient weapon Pluton would be even more hindered. Crocodile doesn't like to see this kind of thing. But this kind of thing always comes to me. And also at this time. The sound of footsteps came. Crocodile's eyes narrowed. He had never heard footsteps of this frequency before. In other words, this is a stranger. Anyone who enters his headquarters without his permission, no matter who he is, must die. There must be no mistake in your plan. Under Crocodile's gaze, Nami and Karina's figures appeared in the hall. But this time, the opponent was Crocodile after all. In order to resolve the battle as quickly as possible, Venom chose to parasitize the mature Nami. Venom pirates. After seeing the face of the visitor, Crocodile understood. Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine may have killed the person in front of them. In other words, his affairs in Alabasta have not yet spread to the royal family. For myself, this is great news. As long as it doesn't affect your own plan, the death of your subordinates is nothing. Even if they are all dead, Crocodile doesn't matter. The person in front of me is just a new pirate from East Blue. A rookie pirate group from East Blue is destined to be unable to make any waves here. Crocodile showed a relaxed smile and leaned on the large and luxurious sofa. He exhaled a burst of smoke and asked casually, "It turns out to be the Venom pirates. I happen to have something to ask you. I killed the person." Venom's words came out easily. "You." Originally, Crocodile was prepared to have a serious talk. After all, it was just business with Doflamingo. It's okay not to do it. However, as Venom's words spread, it was a provocation. For a moment, Crocodile's eyes released murderous intent. Who is he? 7 warlords of the sea crocodile. Logia sand fruit ability user, the existence of the peak power in the sea. Even if the Admiral of Naval Headquarters arrives, he must give himself face. Now this is the new pirate group from East Blue. You actually dare to rush to your Baroque headquarters to provoke you. Are you tired of living? Ha 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 ha, do you know who you are talking to? Just because I have a bounty of 100 million Baileys. You guys from East Blue, you still don't know where the Grand Line is, right? Crocodile cracked his knuckles. He twisted his neck and stood up from the sofa. His tall body was immediately apparent. He admitted that the Venom pirate's reputation is very famous now. It's an existence that ordinary pirates don't mess with. As long as you reach Sabayati Island alive, you can even get the title of this year's supernova. But this, in front of his crocodile, it's not worth mentioning at all. Newcomer, Lousy will let you experience the absolute power of the sea today. As soon as he finished speaking, Crocodile's feet turned into quicksand and charged directly towards Venom. In the entire stronghold, a strong wind suddenly began to blow. As he spoke, Crocodile rushed over. During the impact, his arm quickly became elementalized and continued to spread. A crescent-shaped blade made of quicksand soon formed. Desert Sword. Crocodile is incredibly fast, and the entire process takes less than a second. Looking at Nami, who was possessed by Venom so close, Lock was holding a cigar in his mouth and the corners of his mouth could not help but curl up. The Desert Sword fell hard. Crocodile could predict that this arrogant rookie pirate would be split in half and his blood would be spilled everywhere. Boom! The Desert Sword landed directly on the glass wall behind Venom. The wall was quickly cut open, and the first crocodile among them was split in half instantly. The wet soil inside was instantly sucked dry by the sand blade. Dada! Venom controlled Nami, and her feet landed lightly on the ground. Under the cover of the Venom weapon, it is impossible to tell what the expression is. But in his mind, he compared Crocodile's attack just now with his current strength. The current combination of Venom and Nami has the ability to explode. In terms of slashing, Mara fruit is still inferior to sand fruit. Facing the first Grand Line opponent, Venom is also ready to experiment. This is also part of training Nami. Crocodile turned to look at Venom with surprise in his eyes. The opponent's speed is so fast. He knew that the opponent was a Mara fruit user and had the same elementalization ability as himself. If it were him, he would definitely use elementalization to avoid attacks. The opponent's skills are agile, and you can tell at a glance that he is a master of individual skills. That kind of people, it would be a shame to kill Doflamingo for him. If you can gather them and become your subordinates. Much better than Miss Valentine, Mr. 5 and others. With a heartbeat, Crocodile grinned, "You are very good. If you understand, then surrender to Lousy. Not only will I not kill you, but I will also train you to become a senior agent of Baroque Works." Crocodile's implication was that he would not care about Venom killing Miss Valentine and Mr. 5, but instead wanted Venom to become his subordinate. Venom said nothing to this. Flames burst out from the fingers of his hands and behind his back, and with a slight movement of his fingers, the entire darkened hall was illuminated. All kinds of decorations burned. Under the scorching flames, even the crocodiles in the water were scalded by the hot water and rolled over. "Don't be so shameless." Crocodile's expression condensed. As a Shichibukai, his status is much nobler than that of ordinary pirates. He is a noble among pirates. He even forgave Venom for killing his subordinates. As a result, now I proposed that the other party join the team, but Venom didn't even bother to say a word. I simply didn't take 7 warlords of the sea seriously. Whoosh! The flames burned and thick smoke began to billow out of the hall. An orange light flashed. Venom rushed over and punched Crocodile. This attack is surprisingly fast. The venom penetrated Crocodile's body in an instant. Haha, you are not the only one with Logia demon fruit power. Crocodile becomes a loose ball of sand, then gathers together. And just as the yellow sand gathered, clusters of flames emerged from the yellow sand. Scared, Crocodile immediately stopped gathering elements and spread out again. After a tornado blew up, they gathered together. This is so despicable. A very ordinary punch actually planted flames in the sand, hiding murderous intent. Crocodile has lingering fears. Unexpectedly, a newcomer still has 2 brushes. Desert sword, shouted a loud voice. The yellow sand surged, and Crocodile's arm turned into yellow sand again, forming a larger desert scimitar. This time he did not choose to attack Venom's body, but chose to chop him to the ground. Under the attack of the yellow sand sword, the earth trembled violently. Crocodile breaks open the earth and attacks Venom directly. The venom did not have countless fireflies appearing on its palms, and went directly along the cracks in the earth to attack Crocodile. Instantly, the entire ground began to explode with flames. Boom boom boom. Under 2 attacks, the whole building collapsed. Numerous pieces of building debris fell from the roof. If it weren't for this being a secluded place in the desert. Otherwise, such movement will instantly attract everyone's attention. But this battle also has an audience. It's Vivi and Ikaram, and of course Nico Robin hiding in the shadows. In the desert, in a position with the back of the sun, Vivi looked at the scene in the distance in horror, her expression a bit incredible. Ikaram, is that boss Venom fighting Crocodile? What a big noise. Princess Vivi, they are more powerful than we imagined. It seems we made the right bet. Why do you say the bet was right? Such an intense battle often heralds a fight to the death. The Venom pirates are not holding back. Regardless of whether they can defeat Crocodile or not, it shows that the opponent has tried their best. After hearing Ikaram's explanation, Vivi nodded heavily. I don't think I should be cowardly and hide in the back. I also want to fight on the front line. For Alabasta. Princess. Seeing the decisive figure leaving, Ikaram couldn't stop him. All we can do is follow. After the 2 left, Nico Robin also walked from the darkness into the sunshine. There is no doubt that the conversation between the 2 made Robin know the identity of the other person. She didn't care. What really matters is that they, who were originally weak, still choose to go to the front line. Compared to yourself, does it also mean that you are a cowardly person? It can be said that Nico Robin has been living in fear for the past 20 years, fearing that he would never see the sun again as soon as he closed his eyes. This experience made Nico Robin cautious, and he wanted to leave a way out for himself no matter what he did. Because she wants to live. But now, when someone actually fights for him, he actually chooses to hide and watch from a distance. Just so that when the winner comes, can you choose a path that is more beneficial to you? Robin gritted his teeth. After a complex ideological struggle. Or choose to walk out of danger. Same as Vivi and Ikaram. Walking towards the scene of the battle. Desert Greatsword. Crocodile uses sand fruit's ability to briefly fly into the air. His pupils shrank and his expression gradually became serious. The desert sword pierced the ground and swept into a new shape. Start again. Boom. Swish, swish, swish. Under Venom's feet, the ground suddenly cracked open, and a large sword made of yellow sand came out of the ground and stabbed him. However, at the moment when the sword was about to stab Venom's chest, Venom's figure flashed again. Shave. Desert swords rose up from the ground and into the sky without any warning. Every time, Venom was able to cleverly avoid it. It's as if Venom can know the location of those big swords in advance. Crocodile attack has no effect. Venom doesn't even use elementalization. This scene directly frightened Crocodile. The other party's skills are superior to mine. Is this really just a newcomer? The size of the bounty on the sea can measure the strength of a pirate. Although I only have a bounty of 87 million Baileys, I can't compare to this newcomer. However, that was also because he became a Shichibukai and had contact with the party that issued the bounty. The bounty was fixed many years ago. If he really wanted to calculate it, he would be worth at least 500 million belly. Venom didn't give Crocodile time to think. His whole body was filled with flames. During the previous integration process with Nami, Nami asked Mara Fruit to also obey Venom's orders. Now he is more like a pyromancer than demon fruit power. Countless flames rushed towards Crocodile at his summons. Flames swept up to Crocodile. Venom leaned out and hit Crocodile directly. Face the flames. Crocodile was not afraid, but faced Venom's punch directly. As a Logia user, you don't even know about elementalization, right? Crocodile completely ignores Venom attacks. As a user with sand fruit ability, what Logia brings to him is to evade all physical attacks, and ordinary attacks will not cause harm to him at all. However, when the Venom punch hit him, that made Crocodile's hair stand on end. Huge flame energy exploded continuously. A powerful explosion. He will be drowned in an instant. This is not a fire burning, but a fire explosion. A strong sense of crisis suddenly emerged in Crocodile's heart. His speed reached ultimate, and his entire body turned into a ball of yellow sand and retreated. At the same time, the fire fist arrives. What followed was an explosion. Bang bang bang. Puff. Groups of blood exploded directly. Sprinkled on the desert. It was immediately absorbed by the yellow sand. In an instant, the yellow sand was dyed red with blood. Looking at the big hole in his chest, yellow sand was filling the wound, and blood was flowing out from some places. Crocodile's eyes showed fear, full of disbelief. The yellow sand on his arms began to scatter uncontrollably, falling on the sand with the wind. This is one of the symptoms of physical exhaustion. I never expected that I would be injured. What kind of power is this? Normally, Logia demon fruit power can evade any attack as long as it is elementalized. If you are injured, it only means that the opponent's attack speed will be faster. How many times did the venom explode? Can you keep up with your own instant elementalization? This is impossible. Crocodile wants to deny all of this. But the excruciating pain coming from his body told him that he couldn't deny it at all. Especially the red liquid flowing out dyed the yellow sand brown. It's so dazzling. It would destroy Crocodile's self-esteem. Who are you exactly? Crocodile couldn't help coughing heavily and stared in the direction of the venom. Just a new guy from East Blue. Impossible. Is it possible for a newcomer to achieve such fighting skills? Moreover, although reports say that he is a Maramara fruit-capable person, his fighting style is nothing like it. His power does not come from his body. It's more like being summoned from nothingness. This does not comply with the laws of Logia Devil Fruit. At the same time, such speed, such strength. Can Trust, which has just gone overseas, do it? Venom is already challenging Shichibukai's power. Throughout the Shichibukai system, Crocodile believes that although he is not number 1, at least he will not be ranked low. Under such circumstances, the other party could actually hurt himself. In other words, other Shichibukai will most likely suffer from Venom as well. This way, Venom's identity has been elevated to his own level. Is this something a newcomer can do? While Crocodile was shocked, Venom didn't hesitate and attacked again. I saw him pass his liquid armor directly through the point where the flaming fist attacked, turning it into an elongated bombardment fist. The next second he was in front of Crocodile. The arm made of flames was about to lift himself up. He could even feel the terrifying temperature. Facing the sudden attack, Crocodile dared to relax his vigilance. Shaolan, Desert Storm. Crocodile doesn't take it lightly. He directly pulled out his right hand, creating a small dust whirlwind in his palm. As it was released, it immediately turned into a giant tornado. Still expanding, everything around him was swept away by the storm. Many buildings and desert plants have been uprooted. This storm seems to swallow everything, and the direction he was heading was exactly where Venom was. However, what Crocodile didn't expect was that the sandstorm he created suddenly burst into flames, forming a fire tornado in an instant. The opponent's fire ability actually merged with his own desert tornado. How incredible. What made him even more unexpected was that as the flames merged into a fire tornado, the direction also changed and rushed directly towards him. Crocodile's face was extremely gloomy. It's just too scary. The other party has not shown its true strength from now on. Just do something with fire every once in a while. But occasionally, it caused endless trouble for myself. Crocodile feels manipulated, and he was pinched to death. The flame tornado moved forward and swept over directly. Crocodile can only create another desert storm to offset it. What he didn't expect was, the other party seems to be more powerful. Crocodile fled in panic, and only escaped the attack of the flame tornado after escaping far away. Whoops, he had to admit that he was being played by the other party. Snapped. Before he knew it, Crocodile's cigar fell to the sand. Because he knew that the other party's strength was equal to his own, not even weaker than him. But I am always Shichibukai. How could he lose to a newcomer kid from East Blue? Heavy Shalon shouted angrily. Under Crocodile's control, the yellow sand gathered and turned into countless yellow sand swords, slashing at Venom fiercely. As he manipulated it, the sharp sand blades danced wildly in the desert. The dense offensive continued to pounce on Venom as if there was no gap. If it hits, it will have to be cut into pieces. Puff puff. Venom directly uses elementalization to evade all of Crocodile's attacks. The next second, the explosive flames were released directly and bombarded Crocodile. Facing the flames, he also used elemental evasion. However, the Venom rushed forward and moved forward indomitably. Without stopping, he rushed directly to Crocodile. Just 3 seconds, Crocodile's body turned into yellow sand and collapsed. Seeing the flames burning all over his body, reflected in Crocodile's pupils, making his pupils shrink sharply. Could it be? Has the world changed? A new pirate has such great power. Or maybe he just had bad luck. Just messing with someone is the top powerhouse in the sea. Doflamingo, if there wasn't that fool deal with him, maybe I wouldn't have gotten into trouble with Venom and faced this predicament. No one knew that at this moment, Crocodile already had some regrets in his heart. This kind of emotion shouldn't appear in his heart. Faced with the Venom in front of him, Crocodile did not choose to hold back. The results have been seen. The enemy is too strong, and I am simply invincible. Except for the previous battle with Whitebeard, this is definitely the most frustrating battle since Crocodile debuted. It was like being pressed down and beaten by the enemy. Taking advantage of the opportunity to breathe, Crocodile regrouped. Release the ultimate move again. Desert, Erosion of Reincarnation. This is the Sand Fruit Erosion Cycle, a move unique to Logia Sand Fruit. After Crocodile's right hand touches the ground, use dry cracking to absorb the moisture from the creatures or objects in contact and gradually spread it to the surroundings. When activated, it has the terrifying power of turning even rocks into sand. After use, the surrounding buildings will gradually desert and sink, and the ground will become dead and turn into a dry and cracked wasteland. If you can attack the opponent in just 3 seconds, the enemy can be turned into dried meat without moisture. Mummy. Compared to Smoker, Crocodile is still somewhat powerful. The same Logia can actually persist for so long. It has to be said that as the journey reaches the Grand Line, the opponent's combat effectiveness continues to become stronger. But so what, if you can't even get a Crocodile? The establishment of the Venom Pirates doesn't make any sense. Venom sneered inwardly. Under the flame-wrapped fist, armament hockey has been covered. Venom jumped up and immediately appeared dozens of meters in the air. He galloped down. Come to Crocodile. This time, Crocodile didn't dare to take it lightly. Waving his metal scorpion tail arm, he greeted him. Countless fists fell like raindrops. Crocodile's expression hardened. The opponent's attacks are simply pervasive and impossible to defend against. At this time, the situation suddenly changes. Venom's right arm immediately transformed into a black knife. Swing wildly. Puff. At such a desperate speed, Crocodile had no time to react. The bloody light exploded. Crocodile, who had only one intact arm left, once again lost another intact arm. A severed arm flew into the air. It brought out a trail of blood gathering. This arm has no elements and turns into yellow sand. It indicates that Crocodile has suffered serious damage. Blood spurts. Suddenly, the entire sky was full of yellow sand falling down. The entire combat environment also became clear. The scene fell into a ghostly silence. ... Battle scene. Vivi and Ikaram come here. I saw Karina standing in the distance watching the battle. Then he ran over. Although Vivi has a deal with the Venom Pirates, as long as they help her, Vivi will treat them as friends. At this time, Nico Robin also appeared here. After the 4 people gathered together, the scene gradually became clear. They all stared at the yellow sand that was about to disperse. Miss Karina, is Boss Venom in there? How is he doing now? Vivi was a little nervous, afraid of hearing bad news. Coming here made her very determined. If it fails, all of Alabasta will fall into hell again. And if it succeeds, then Alabasta will be saved. Seeing Venom fighting like this, Vivi did not choose to watch from a distance, but came to the scene. It would be great if you could do something within your power. The boss said there is no problem. Although Karina was nervous, as a parasite, she knew the Venom very well and had no worries. It's not all because of Venom's strength. It's Venom's confidence that he has a plan for everything. Let Karina have 100% trust in the Venom Pirates. Who is this? The sudden appearance of Nico Robin made Vivi a little wary. She had never seen this woman before. Judging from his appearance, he is not a native of Alabasta. I'm Nico Robin, and I'm Miss All Sunday, the vice president of Baroque Works. Robin kept smiling and admitted happily. What? Vivi and Ikaram were immediately shocked. Suddenly he felt like he was facing a formidable enemy. Karina looked at Robin Yu and said, "Don't worry, the boss has decided to accept Nico Robin as a partner. The boss's decision will not be changed and cannot be changed." Robin smiled and said nothing. There was some nervousness in her eyes. Watch the yellow sand disperse. At this time, the situation at the battle scene finally emerged in front of everyone. With everyone paying attention, Rocklodar was seen half kneeling on the sand, trying to cover his broken arm, but found that he only had a metal scorpion tail left and could not stop the bleeding at all. His face looked as if it had fallen into an ice cellar. Crocodile's face showed an unprecedented seriousness. At this time, he was extremely embarrassed. On the other hand, Venom stood there leisurely, without any change. Crocodile turned into a ball of quicksand and moved away quickly. The current situation is too unfavorable for me, so I can only run away. Boom boom boom. Venom's fists kept falling. Crocodile didn't dare to relax for a moment and ran away. Seeing such a fighting scene, even if there were people around, they all fled. However, Crocodile still saw a familiar figure. Nico Robin. Nico Robin. Crocodile quickly ran towards Robin. Venom is chasing closely behind him, and now he can only rely on his subordinates to save him. He was shouting for help, and as he got closer, Nico Robin was right in front of him. At least she has flower fruit ability, so maybe she can buy herself some time to breathe. And also at this time, Venom kicked over. The overbearing force directly rolled Crocodile away. Puff! Crocodile was hit hard and spun backwards, vomiting blood. Fell into the sand. A big hole was made in the ground. The sound of explosions sounded, raising smoke and dust that could not be dispersed for a long time. After the battle, Crocodile's coat was completely broken, the cigar in his mouth had long disappeared, his body was covered with blood, his arm was cut off, and blood flowed like a pillar. Extremely embarrassed, he got up with difficulty. At this time, under the watchful eyes of Vivi and others, Crocodile was stepped directly on by one of Venom's feet. Tightly under control. Vivi had an incredible look on her face. The crocodile in front of him was in such a mess that he didn't look like a Shichibukai at all. Is this still the great pirate who plunged Alabasta into a crisis of national annihilation? The one who is hidden deepest. Ikaram was so excited that he couldn't speak, and his eyes were fixed on him. Because, before Crocodile was completely dead, everything was so unbelievable that only the enemy's death was the result he wanted. Ikaram didn't dare to be happy in advance. The other party is Crocodile. Robin had a look of disbelief on his face, and was stunned for a moment, feeling like he was about to lose his mind. Is this still the superior boss? Robin knew Crocodile's strength, and the outcome of this battle was too unexpected. Is what Venom said before true? He would really kill Crocodile. And then will he be included in the Venom Pirates? So under the hands of such a strong man, can I still control my destiny? Could he be more dangerous than Crocodile? Being able to have such thoughts is related to her experience of being homeless. Now Nico Robin still refuses to trust anyone. In her heart, there are no good people in the world. Most of them use each other. Moreover, Venom is very decisive in incorporating himself into the pirate group. Is there any purpose? Robin was worried about this. Sand. Crocodile's physical strength can no longer keep up. After being hit hard again, there was no information left to defeat the Venom in front of him. He was unable to make any resistance. However, seeing Robin's cold gaze made him very disappointed. How could he not understand now? He can only guess that the Baroque working society he established has been captured by the other party. But, why is the time so short? You know, the Venom pirates have just arrived in Alabasta. Venom, I admit that you are stronger than me. I was bewitched by Doflamingo and targeted you. Now the deal is over. As long as you keep my life, I will use the name of Shichibukai to do many things for you. Convinced, Crocodile no longer wanted to resist. You can only rely on your own residual value and negotiate terms with the other party. Hey hey, Venom sneered. The name Shichibukai does not apply to me. I don't even care if it's the Shichibukai, or the Four Emperors. After Venom finished speaking, the force on his feet became a little stronger. Feeling this strong gravity, Crocodile coughed and said nervously, "What about Pluton? If you are not interested in Shichibukai's name, it can only mean that the other party has more intentions. Is it like you, who came to Alabasta entirely because of ancient weapon Pluton? If this is the case, then the two of them are on the same front. The value of obtaining information in advance is reflected." Unfortunately, he didn't see any surprise on Venom's face. "I have no interest in ancient weapons. Does he know about ancient weapon? The other party actually knows so much. Crocodile also wants to slowly reveal his information. And the other party seems to have seen through it. Is it certain that I will die today? You see, the man with curly hair is the captain of Alabasta's escort team, and the girl with blue hair is the princess of Alabasta. They promised me a pirate ship and asked me to kill you and bring peace to Alabasta. I don't need to tell you Nico Robin, she is now my crew member." I heard Venom say that. Vivi and Robin, who were nearby, were stunned and suddenly became anxious. After all, now that the two of them have come to the stage, they are still unwilling to expose their information. Because, compared to an existence like Venom, which is fearless, it is not afraid of anything. They are still very weak. When you are weak, you can only protect yourself by keeping your enemy from knowing what you are thinking. And now, why did Venom shake everything out of him in one fell swoop? If Crocodile escapes, there will be endless revenge. What should I do? Hearing this, Crocodile shook his head, disappointed with Venom's purpose. It's just a pirate ship. A pirate has no lofty ideals, just because of a pirate ship. Why bother? If you want Bailey, you should have said it earlier. Why make the relationship so tense? Crocodile finally relaxed after hearing Venom's request. Now that you know the other party's purpose, it's easy to take action. It just so happens that I have plundered countless wealth in Alabasta over the years. It can be used as money to buy life. Ships, I can give you 10. I can even give you countless treasures. Crocodile took a heavy breath and then said to Venom, "I think you misunderstood." Venom smiled and said, "Just like the deal between you and Doflamingo, your head is also a deal. However, I am an honest pirate and will not change what I have promised to others, so you must die." Then Nico Robin, "I just have a crush on her. It's time for you to get on your way." Boom, boom, the yellow sand suddenly stopped. No, Crocodile sinks into the yellow sand. As the Venom attacked, he lost consciousness forever. With the death of Crocodile, Alabasta seems to have ceased to be filled with yellow sand. There is only the soft sound of wind and the sun in the clear sky. A few minutes later, "Princess, Crocodile is dead," Ikaram said in a positive tone after repeatedly checking Crocodile's body. At this time, with Ikaram's announcement, the scene fell silent. "Died. Crocodile is so dead. I couldn't believe it. Vivi is a little unbelievable. The culprit who caused chaos in the entire country of Alabasta has died. This news is so good that it is simply unacceptable. This feeling, if something impossible is accomplished, suddenly it is accomplished at a very small cost. It's no different than a pie falling out of thin air. It's the same thing if you switch to Robin. She also didn't expect that things would come to an end so quickly. The opponent is Crocodile, a Shichibukai, the same Logia demon fruit power as Marine Admiral Aokiji. They have the same name. It's a disaster. The facts are now before our eyes." Nico Robin's eyes when looking at Venom also changed slightly. Now, Nico Robin is full of worries about the future. Venom wants to include him as a partner. Based on Robin's experience, there must be something in him that the other person wants. If you have no value, the other party will not make such a decisive request. But, seeing the smiles on Nami and Karina's faces, the admiration for Venom in their eyes. In Robin's case, it became envy. Because it had been a long time since she had smiled sincerely like them. Robin doesn't know what the future holds. Now she can only wait for Venom's trial on her. Vivi closed her eyes and took a deep breath. "Boss Venom, thank you." Venom turned into a villain and emerged from Nami. He waved his hand. "It's just a transaction. Now that the task is completed, it's time to ask for your reward." Vivi nodded, Boss Venom, I will definitely give you the Nefertari, but it is currently placed in the Rapeseed Port City. Then take me to get it. I have to get my father's consent for this matter, but I will definitely convince him and ask Boss Venom to stay in Rape Flower for a while. Venom showed a puzzled expression and then said, "What are you waiting for? I'll go directly to ask the King of Alabasta. If he doesn't give, then it's my fault for being rude." "No, Boss Venom." Finally, under the threat of Venom, Vivi prepared to take the Venom pirates to the royal capital, Albana. Vivi can't do anything about it because the Venom is too powerful. "I can't stop it at all. Even if he really wants to do something in Alabasta, the entire royal family can't stop him." Ikaram nodded aside. He also knew that if the Venom wanted to hurt Vivi, he would not be able to stop it. After seeing the way Venom did things, Ikaram trusted Venom a lot. He refused Crocodile's request. Venom is a very principled person. Seeing that the matter has come to an end and there are still many tales to deal with, Ikaram said to Vivi, "Princess, I will stay to deal with the follow-up matters of Crocodile. Boss Venom, then Princess Vivi will ask you to help send her to the royal capital." Venom waved his hand. "No big deal, Vivi is my big customer." 3 days have passed. Alabasta Palace. "Vivi, what did you say? The civil strife in the kingdom is caused by Shichibukai and Crocodile. That is terrible. Are you really sure it's Crocodile?" After Vivi briefly explained Alabasta's hidden power, King Alabasta, Princess Vivi's father, seemed a little incredible. The other party hid it too deeply. The entire country has no clue. What should I do? Crocodile is a pirate allowed by the world government to exist. How could he come to the cargo ship Alabasta? The king suddenly lost his mind. Seeing his father's performance, Vivi snickered for a while. Because he still has the task of delivering the Nefertari to Venom. So there was no choice to inform Crocodile of his death. Unconsciously, Vivi has learned a lot. Turn your elbows outward. At this time, Ikaram also finished handling the follow-up matters, made all the information of Baroque Studio into documents, and presented them to the king. After seeing it, the king was shocked. And what shocked him the most was news that Crocodile is dead. "How did you do it?" King Nefertari Cobra suddenly felt that his brain was a little exhausted. Ikaram's intelligence not only clearly revealed the background of Baroque Studio and Crocodile, but also clearly described all his premeditations. To know, even he, the king, doesn't know much about Pluton. He knew that the Nefertari family had been guarding the secrets in the desert. But after seeing the report, Cobra connected everything. Vivi and the minister will never know. If you know it, you can only investigate the secret information. So, Cobra knows that this is the truth behind the Alabasta disaster. The undoubted truth. "Yes, father, it was Venom that helped me save Alabasta. I want to thank him." After hearing Vivi's words, Cobra immediately understood. "It turns out there is an expert behind my daughter. Help Alabasta solve the trouble. As a king, it is natural to thank him. Of course I have to thank him properly. I have decided to prepare a thank you banquet at the palace today. Vivi, go and invite the benefactor over. Father, there is one more thing. I want to give him the Nefertari." It took 3 days of getting along on the return trip. Vivi also knows something about the Venom pirates. Vivi envies the free atmosphere of the Venom pirates. Especially with Nami and Karina's admiration for Venom, Venom seems to be a hero who can save the world. Although they also kill people. But those killed were all bad guys. Perhaps Vivi has always wanted to save the subjugated country, and her mood has been suppressed for too long. The atmosphere of getting along with the Venom pirates makes her feel very envious. In this atmosphere, it is normal for Vivi to turn her elbows outward. She even felt like she was part of the team. When Cobra heard his daughter's request, he immediately reacted. The Nefertari is the daughter's dowry. I believe that Ikaram guy has already told Vivi about the prophecy. So, the man named Venom is a handsome and mighty heroic boy. Did his appearance make his daughter's heart flutter? For a moment, Cobra showed an expression of understanding. Although Alabasta belongs to the royal family, she does not have the arrogance of the royal family. Instead, she is very close to the people. Therefore, even for royal marriages, the family background of the other party is often not taken into consideration. After solving the crisis of national subjugation, he became Alabasta's hero. Just be nice to Vivi. Thinking about it, it seems that it is not unacceptable. Cobra nodded, his tone seemed gentle, and there was no obvious objection. Vivi, please find Venom first. Let's talk about the Nefertari matter after the banquet. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.